I hope you all had a great and safe Memorial Day weekend. It's time to go grab that leftover barbecue because this is the most disturbing videos on the internet today. Let's dive in. This forbidden video shows you the true purpose of the Eiffel Tower.
This has been concealed for centuries. The real purpose of the Eiffel Tower is something far beyond what you've been told. Most people believe it's nothing more than a symbol of Parisian culture or a product of the industrial era. The truth? The Eiffel Tower was designed as a massive antenna, an instrument for wireless electricity experiments, and its secrets could have revolutionized the world. The year was 1889, and the tower was unveiled at the Paris World's Fair, touted as a temporary exhibit. But here's where it gets strange. The true intent behind this engineering marvel was hidden in plain sight. Nikola Tesla visited Paris in the 1880s. During his stay, he met with Gustave Eiffel and shared his groundbreaking vision for a world powered by free, wireless energy. Tesla had already proven with his Wardenclyffe Tower that electricity could be transmitted wirelessly across vast distances. Eiffel, utterly fascinated by Kessler's revolutionary ideas, took these principles and incorporated them into the design of the Eiffel Tower. This was not just about aesthetics. This was about power, real power. During the tower's construction, strange phenomena were reported. Electromagnetic anomalies, unexplained lights, and strange sparks were seen surrounding the tower. Locals spoke of nighttime experiments, and some even claimed to have witnessed orbs of light dancing around the structure. Why hasn't this been exposed?
And that's just the tip of the iceberg. He really didn't get that deep. There's a lot more to it, like what's under the Eiffel Tower and how it was a mooring station for airships.
You know, the only difference in steam and ice is the state of vibration of the water or the H2O. Do you know the only difference in where you are versus where you want to go is your state of vibration? Do you know that everything to get you there is already here? And it always has been. You know, when you take an idea and you impregnate it over and over again, you impregnate that idea into one cell. When you impregnate that idea into the cell, that cell is dividing 1 into 2, 2 into 4, 4 into 8, and the process goes on at the rate of 50,000 cells per second. And the more and more you act on it, even though you don't feel good about it, but you work with the idea, you start to develop this change in vibration, but what is really happening is you're impregnating the cells with the characteristic or the idea. What we need to do is we need to constantly think about where we're going, what we want to do, and we start to increase our level of thinking by vibration, and we begin to attract thoughts of a like nature that'll move us in that direction. You know the only difference.
I don't know why, but I'm hyped now. He hit me with that Philip 4-8.
Freemasons use this symbol, which is the same symbol for Apple Store, and X when it's mirrored. This symbol is a compass on top and a square below. The square creates a square which has beginning and an end. The compass creates a circle which has no beginning and no end. If the compass is the circle, which means spirit, and square is the square, which is matter, this symbolizes spirit over matter, the compass over the square. Leonardo da Vinci was showing you that you are a spiritual being in a material body. You are an individual. You have a physical body and a non-physical body. The voice in your head and the emotions you feel are eternal, but your physical body will die. The spiritual brain is the mind. The spiritual heart is the soul. The brain and heart are physical manifestations of the mind and soul. The aim is to climb the pyramid to higher consciousness, to your true spirit self, so that you can be spirit over matter and not matter over spirit. They show you these symbols in plain sight. These people are highly enlightened individuals. You will never have power if you don't have knowledge. Knowledge is the true currency of this life.
Hosea 4:6.
Hold up. Watch this video with me. Why is nobody talking about this? Holy smokes.
When you watch cell division happen under a microscope with special dyes, you see there's spindle fibers that shoot out like Spider-Man. I mean, they shoot out from these little bitty centrosomes. They shoot out and they attach to the chromosomes. And your chromosomes are like socks. They come in pairs. So there's like a matching pair, and there's all these different matching pairs. And so they line up in the center of your cell, and you can see these spindle fibers grouping. It looks like there's two white glowing hands just grouping up, like shuffling a deck of cards or matching up socks or whatever you want to look at it like. And then when everything's matched up, it just goes, pulls it apart. And it's like, How? How does it pull it apart? What force is it using? What eyeballs do these little things have that let them see the chromosomes? How, like, it's not like this centrosome goes, all right, go that way, head left, head right. They shoot out and they guide with accurate precision, boom, and to where your skin cell, when it goes apart.
Hold up. Watch this.
Call me crazy, but this is what it looked like. You knit me together in my mother's womb? Literally.
Pairs. And so they line up in the center of your cell, and you can see these spindle fibers grouping. It looks like there's two white glowing hands just grouping up, like shuffling a deck of cards or matching up socks or whatever you want to look at it like. And then when everything's matched up, it just goes, pulls it apart. And it's like, how? How does it pull it apart? What force is it using? What eyeballs do these little things have that let them see the chromosomes? How, like...
Call me crazy, but it looks like it's some type of designer behind this. Bloodwood tree leaks blood-like liquid to seal wounds. Is this really nature or something else? We have another UFO sighting. Time and place is unknown. This was starting to give me the vibes of when the 3 different UFOs started to circle that plane and then they hit that portal and they disappeared, like they was generating something while it was circling that plane. It's a crazy clip. Here, I gotta play it. All right, when I was referring to those UFOs spinning around that plane trying to form some type of portal, this is it.
Like it's trying to create a stable portal. Okay, now they've isolated it. Wow, this is incredible footage. Yeah. They're probably trying to create something called an X point. Boom. They're naturally forming portals around Earth. They can't control them. They can't control when they appear, when they disappear. They can't control how to keep them stable and open. And they've been researching these things. And some of these portals lead towards the moon, the sun, even to other planets within the solar system.
Well, let me be the first one to tell you they're definitely not going to other planets. But this is one of 2 things. The things flying around this is man-made. Like Area 51, the government, they have the technology to do this now. Or 2 is something beyond that ice wall, if you ask me. For entertainment purposes, of course. Don't believe anything you hear or see on this video. If you're enjoying this video, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button because we do these videos every single day. So make sure you hit that notification bell, click all so you don't miss an episode. Now let's get straight back into the action.
Oh, you oh, where'd it go? There you go, easy. You're good. Oh my god! Oh, you.
Now you got a spider on the loose and you have to dance around. That's not a spider, that's a tarantula. They got a tarantula you got to dance around. We don't know where the spider, it just disappeared. Like that airplane we showed earlier. Portal gone. It's under the kitchen table now. Oh man, that looks like a huntsman though. That sucks. It ran straight under the table. Did you see it? I bet if we slowed it down, you can see that little thing scurry right under the table. They're gonna be sitting down at the table eating a mac and cheese. Next thing they know, ah! No, I'm just kidding. I don't wish that on nobody.
Is the world map. And this is wrong. What if I told you that from here to here, it's 6,400 kilometers. But from here to here, which only looks like half the size, is 7,200. The continent of Africa has been shown smaller than it actually is. What if I told you that Greenland was only this size? Or Russia was this size? The US and Canada were much more. You know what? This is the real map. Look at Sweden, Finland, and Norway. They're much smaller now. Or Greenland is tiny.
Some theorize about a moon map. And I believe if we compare that moon map to what we just witnessed him drawing, maybe there might be more similarities of how big the continents already are, if you guys are familiar with the moon map.
So I came across this video earlier and I thought for sure it was AI, but it turns out it's actually not. Check this out.
We haven't got a clue really, have we, about our old civilizations. It's just all bamboozlement about they were primitive. I mean, look at this, it's unbelievable. Carved out chisels and hammers. It's like something out of Stargate. Some kind of sci-fi. Unbelievable. And as the water levels drop, not rise, we're going to be seeing a lot more videos like this.
So upon looking at these, I couldn't help but think they resembled something that I had found on Google Earth a few years back. Check this out. The carvings on the stones in this riverbed are 100% verifiable and absolutely real. They're located in Sahasralinga, Karnataka, in India. They can be found in the Shalmala River near Sirsi in the Uttara Kannada district. What they are is over 1,000 Shiva Lingas, and they are carved directly into the rocks of the riverbed and its banks, believed to have been commissioned in the 17th century by King Sadashivaraya of the Sirsi kingdom. Many carvings include Ling Yoni combinations, and some have Nandi bulls facing the lingas. During the dry seasons, or when the water recedes, the carvings become fully visible. Pilgrims visit especially on Mahashivaratri. Now I don't know about you, but to me, those look like some sort of spacecraft. Now I'm not 100% sure if that's what they're interpreted as, but that's what they resemble to me. Something off of like Star Trek or Star Wars or something like that. They look almost identical to craft in Star Wars. And of course, modern archaeology will tell you it was done by hammer and chisel, which maybe we don't have anything to necessarily combat that, but I'd like to think that maybe they were more advanced than what we believe. Absolutely amazing. You can see they have intricate carvings, very detailed. They definitely took a pretty significant amount of skill to complete. What do you guys think? Is there any significance to these? Are they just carvings or ritualistic? Or could they represent actual spacecraft? I'm curious to see what you guys say in the comments.
At first look, it does look like it's something straight out of a science fiction movie, some type of alien craft, but it could be a temple that fell from somewhere. I would be curious if there's any waterfalls. Where's the water source coming from? Because if we follow the current to the actual water source, there could be a waterfall nearby. And you know, a waterfall could be a petrified tree stump. And at the petrified tree stump, they could have labored at it and knocked down the temple that was possibly inside the petrified tree stump. Just a theory. What could that possibly be? It definitely would have to be in the roots for it to soak all that up and take it into the trees. It must be something under it. How strange.
Bird, you've been to both the North Pole and the South Pole. Is there any unexplored land left on this earth that might appeal to adventurous young Americans?
Yes, there is. And not up around the North Pole, because it's getting crowded up there now, because they find out it's really usable, not only to live in, but militarily. But strangely enough, there's left in the world today an area as big as the United States that's never been seen by a human being. And that's beyond the pole on the other side of the South Pole from Middle America.
Bird, you've been to both the
Keyword, Middle America. Man, they got continents for days out there with all types of technology.
2025 isn't just another year. It's mathematically magical. It's 45 squared, a perfect square. The last one was in 1936. The next isn't until 2116. For most of us, this is the only perfect square you will ever live through. 2025 is also the sum of the first 45 odd numbers. It's the square of the sum of the first 9, and it's also the sum of the cubes of the first 9. Perfectly aligned, perfectly balanced, like the universe saying, now is the time. In numerology, 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5 equals 9, and 9 means completion. The end of a cycle, a portal for rebirth. So what if 2025 is a signal? A rare chance to rewrite the patterns that have shaped your life? This isn't a year to repeat old loops. It's a year to reprogram your mind and finally become the person your soul came here to be. Not through hustle, but through alignment, through repetition, through subconscious transformation. 2025 isn't just another year.
It's not just another year. It's 2 plus 2 equals 4 plus 5 is 9. You're also on what? Dark Waters 9. What are these numbers trying to say to me? You haven't heard about the Dolphin assisted? Never mind. Check this out. Oh yeah, this is a deep rabbit hole. Oh no, it's a cover up. They're trying to cover it up. It makes sense. They use the sonar frequency. Dolphins being humanoids? A genetic experiment? Now that's a little bit too far. I don't know about that, but then again, how crazy really is it? Because if you think about it, if a flood were to happen, a dolphin could survive if it was a genetic experiment. Interesting. The dolphins really don't have any real predators, do they? Like, they just live free out in the ocean. Like, as much fish as they want. I feel like sharks aren't a threat. Like, it's safe when dolphins are around, right? So sharks aren't a threat to dolphins. They're incredibly intelligent. Them being a genetic experiment is crazy. It makes you think, huh? Would this be something they would try to hide from you? If you thought I didn't have an excellent specimen for you today, think again. Look at this purple fluorite with the purple octahedron dances in front of you. And look how it has sprinkled with some gold dust. The lavender octahedron. It's truly a spectacle. If I had to name this piece, I would call it Lavender Lemonade.
This is huge. This is a massive story. Record this, download this. This is a potentially dangerous story for me to share, but you need to see this because we need answers. I am happy, healthy, and not prone to accidents, just saying. For context, I do a radar and satellite review show on my website every single day. So when I tell you this is freaking weird, I know what frickin' weird is. As I was reviewing radar data, I spotted an anomaly in Florida. It appears that a wave was emanating from each tower, which was subsequently pushing the cloud cover and precipitation outward. That alone shouldn't happen. The mainstream narrative is that these towers only track systems, but here we have clouds and rain being moved in a perfect circular outward fashion at the exact same speeds near each tower. And look at this area. When the clouds collide in the middle between two separate waves from two separate towers. Then as I looked along the Gulf coastline, this this is where things got even more crazy. All the towers along the coastline are doing the exact same thing at the exact same times. Texas, Louisiana. I mean, look at Louisiana. The wave is emanating outward to the point where the clouds and precipitation spreads out equally in all directions and is then eliminated. In fact, even more strange is at every area of precipitation near the towers along the Gulf and Atlantic coastline disappears simultaneously. And that's not even the craziest freaking part. The craziest freaking part is the time code for when these waves occurred, about 1940 UTC. These areas felt seismic activity. The local news reported it as 3.1 magnitude.
Well, at about 2:41 this afternoon, out about 10 miles deep in the Gulf, 70 miles south of Gulf Shores.
A rare event in this area. You heard me right. The moment we saw these waves around these towers, they reported that there wasn't. The thing though, impact the atmosphere. It can't move clouds. It certainly wouldn't move clouds in perfect circular waves emitting outward from each and every tower along the entire Gulf coastline up to the Carolinas on the Atlantic coast. And I'm still trying to figure out, is this emanating from the towers themselves? Or is there something working with them in the ocean? So I looked a little further to see what I could find in the cloud cover in the Gulf around the time of the supposed earthquake. And I found this. What is moving these clouds out there like that?
Wonder if those are like some type of harp tower that those frequencies are emitting from that she was showing. Very interesting stuff. Good work, by the way, for catching that. Bertha Benz and Benz Patton motor wagon from 1886. Like from Mercedes-Benz? I feel like they should still make those. What is it being powered by? Steam? I would love to take a stroll on one of those. You know, with your feet up. Put a little kickstand. Yeah, I would love to take a stroll in one of those. How about you? We have an actual specimen from the 1878 World Fair. Unbelievable.
A pair of monumental vases by Minton have proven that they were in the World's Fair. This was the World's Fair that was attended by almost 30% of the population of the United States at the time, which was very, very impressive. Minton was already very famous for their Majolica. This was a chance for them to basically stake their claim as the best of the best. And they would put their biggest and best up in front so people would stop.
This was before TV. This was before radio. Their number one advertising was for have somebody, for the press that would go there and the critics to go there and go, my God, they have the best. And so people put their, by far, the biggest and best effort into World's Fair's pieces.
Where would you even put this? Like, would you put it in the kitchen, the living room? Man, that is gorgeous. Look at the butterfly. You already know I love flowers. That was fun. What a great idea. Wow, bull on the loose.
New pin.
Wow.
Just a unit. Whoa. Oh yeah. New pin.
This would be the world's most dangerous game of limbo. What? That's all we have for today's video. If you made it this far, go ahead and drop Tuesday vibes in the comments below. That lets me know you made it all the way through, and I just want to say thank you. Your support means the world to me on these dangerous and scary excursions, Dark Waters, level 9. This was the most disturbing videos on the internet today. See you tomorrow.